The geoduck industry in BC really began in 1980 when George Dennis got the first license to harvest the large burrowing clam.
Personally, these hands have picked over 1 million pounds of geoducks and over 1 million pounds of red urchins and many, many pounds of cucumbers.
His company, Fan Seafood, is one of the largest geoduck suppliers on the coast, and 95% of all geoduck harvested here goes to China. That's why Chinese tariffs of 25% on Canadian seafood, set to come into effect next week, is causing concern in the industry.
It was one of the priciest seafoods in China. So although we started out at 35 cents a pound, we have had as much as $21 a pound recently.
It's even seen highs of $25 a pound, but prices might have to drop to $10 a pound now in order to keep the Chinese market buying. The Chinese tariffs are in response to Canada imposing tariffs on Chinese EVs, steel, and aluminum.
So a 25% tariff on our products is just going to mean probably a 25% reduction in income to the boats and crews and coastal communities and everything else. Nobody's going to win in a tariff war.
Other seafood species are affected as well. Almost all live seafood, in fact, from the coast. $300 million worth going to China every year. Over 5,000 people work in the seafood industry here. Hundreds of those jobs are now at risk.
I think everyone is in a bit of a wait and see what happens because they don't really have any other choice. But I would say for some fisheries, and geoduck is probably one of them, the fishery will close early this season while we wait and see what happens.
Back in Comox, Bonnie Dennis and her husband are starting out in the industry his grandfather George has done so well in for years, but there's a lot of uncertainty now.
Huge concerns. I mean, we're new entrants to the fishing industry. We've got loans for multi-million dollars, and this tariff, if our price drops, we have loans that we need to pay to be able.
The Chinese tariffs come into effect March 20th.